So they made me take my first 2 checks and save it and get a suit from their guy that would go make them suits.
Nice.
And that was a fun experience for me, because all of a sudden I'm in this suit, and here's me, still an idiot punk kid who had gone to jail and got in trouble and who didn't have anything figured out in life.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden I was in the room. I was in the room that I had been thinking about that I needed to be in, and I was talking with people that were writing checks for Lexus. Like,
Wild.
and they're listening to me. But the only thing that had changed about me was the way that I looked. It was the clothing. And so I realized in that moment that clothing was an incredibly powerful tool that was maybe going to be the vehicle that would allow me to be in those rooms. And I had no idea where that would take me. But to make a long story incredibly long, I bit down on that on the consumer side. I started
Mhm.
investing into tailoring and just like really exploring what that look was going to look like for me. That fed into being like, well, what are the rules of this? And
Yeah.
and I'm getting books and I'm researching, and then I'm like, well, how's this stuff made? And it just became this thing, and it was a snowball effect that kept going and going and going. And I stayed in that career for a few years. I did real estate flips for a couple years after that, and then I saved up, now that I think about it, a tiny bit of money
Mhm.
and moved to Chicago at the end of 2011 and started a company
Wow.
because I was like, this is either going to be a thing or it's not. And I had
Yeah.
learned enough to where I could be just barely dangerous,
Yep.
and started a company. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. And then lived in a basement for the first year and a half, like not a basement apartment, but um, the folks when I first came and we started a different company than Kircher, but we started a custom clothing company together. I talked them into letting me live in the basement of their salon.
Wow.
And so concrete floors, no windows, not fun, but also at the same time the most fun I've ever had,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
That story is very inspiring because you can literally say that a good outfit opens doors for you physically and professionally.
Hmm.
Um, wow, that's quite the come up. And would you say that you were like obsessed with learning about fashion, or is just like what was it that was just driving you to like learn more and more about it?
I don't think that it was the fashion. I think that what it was how it was a tool.
Hmm.
I think seeing the progress of where it was taking me, I think wanting to like really understand like what was possible there.